Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. As you can see, I have my friend Noah here with me, and we are going to bake our first Christmas cookie of the season. We decided to take chocolate chip cookies and put a little Christmas spin on them by putting craisins in them. So it's going to be like a chocolate cranberry cookie. And we're going to make them monster size cookies because that's what Noah wants. So this recipe usually will make a dozen. We're going to cut it in half, or make the cookies double in size and only make 6 cookies out of this. But this is a tried and true chocolate chip cookie recipe that I love and that is well tested, and we got this recipe from Pinch of Yum. So if you just Google them, you'll find this the best soft chocolate chip cookies. All right, Noah, are you ready for our ingredient list?
Yep.
Okay. For this recipe, you will need 8 tablespoons of butter, half a cup of white sugar. Perfect. We will need a 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1 egg.
Oh.
Just put the whole bowl down, so we don't want the egg to roll off the table. 1½ cups of flour. All right. Half a teaspoon baking soda. 1/4 teaspoon salt.
Which looks like sugar.
Which looks like sugar. Be careful you don't mix the two, that's bad. And then a total of 3/4 cup of mixing. So we're gonna do half chocolate chips
And
half craisins.
Craisin.
All right, let's get started. So to make this recipe, first you need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And then you need to microwave the butter to melt it. And it took us about how long? Do you remember?
40 seconds.
About 40 seconds to melt the butter. Yep, and then into the stand mixer we put the butter, the white sugar, and the brown sugar. And then we beat it until it was lighter in color and creamy and fluffy. And then we added in
Egg.
yes, we cracked the egg in there and we added vanilla. And then we beat the mix. And then we beat the mix just until you couldn't see the egg anymore. You don't want to beat it too much or it will make your cookies tough. So that's a little
Yeah, the more you punch them, the more they get tough.
That's right, the more tough they get. And then once the egg and the vanilla are incorporated, you add the flour, the baking soda, and the salt. Yep, and we want to mix that. You beat it just until you can't see the flour anymore. And then we put in the chocolate chips and the craisins.
Yeah.
And then we dumped it onto the cutting board. And what you want to do is put a little flour down, dump the cookie dough out, put some flour on your hands, and then you want to pat the cookie dough into like a square.
And then you cut it.
Mm-hmm. And how many pieces did we cut it into?
6 pieces.
6 pieces. Normally in the recipe you cut it into 12, but we wanted to make monster cookies, so we did 6.
And then you make them into balls and put them on a tray.
And then you put them in the oven.
Yeah.
And we baked them in the oven. Normally you put them in the oven for about 9 to 11 minutes when there are 12 of them, but because these were ginormous cookies, we baked ours for about 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. You just want them golden brown around the edges and still kind of wet looking in the middle.
And this is how big they turned out.
They're huge. Can you see? They're bigger than my hand.
That is an example of her hand.
That's an example of my hand.
And that is a cookie.
And that is the
And
cookie.
if she puts both hands together,
Then it might cover up the cookie.
then it might cover up the
oh
cookie.
Oh my gosh, they're huge.
They're as big as both of her hands.
All right, so then they need to cool, since they're so big, for probably about 10 or 15 minutes. And when we come back, we'll taste them. All right, the last step in the cookie baking process is to taste the cookies. Hold up real high, hold it up real high. Oh, not that high. And then we have another.
You turn it around. So, oh, there you go.
Cookie. We have another special guest. This is my mom, Sue. If you saw the video where we tried snacks from Norway, she was in that video. Noah's gonna take one big bite of this cookie, and then we're gonna split what's left. Okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, now crack it in half so we can try some. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at these cookies.
He's giving you the whole half and I took the little half. Noah still wants to eat cookies.
That's the side you bit. There we go.
Yummy.
Oh, They're kind of, no, that my mouth is full. Crunchy on the edges, chewy in the middle.
Those craisins are amazing.
Yum. Yum.
It's almost like chocolate covered cherries.
Yep.
They're
It's really
really
delicious.
good. Soft and chewy. Now this way I like them.
Yeah. So moral of the story is you need to make these cookies. We will leave a link in the description down below to Pinch of Yum. And they're the best soft chocolate chip cookies. Super delicious. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out our social medias. They'll be right in front of Noah's face. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next time.
Click the bell. And if you want these cookies, subscribe.
That's right. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.